Oh shit. Man, I feel great. I feel very, very good. And I was asked, which reminds me and brings me to this question I was asked a couple of days ago. It's like, hey Juan, how do you stay so motivated? Man, I'm the last person to be asked that question. I'm not always motivated, man. You know, there's days where I don't feel like doing shit. There's days where I feel like shit. I feel like crap. I'm not motivated. I wasn't motivated to wake up in the morning. Right? I know what I've got to do. It's discipline. And I think that there's a misconception with motivation, or what motivation is used for, or how it's used. It's what you can't see that makes one, right? And that's the fundamentals. That's the beliefs. That's the discipline. You can't see that, right? Like, for example, the high rises, right? Or even homes, or even these bridges, right? Like, they're not standing up because of that big pillar, right? They're standing up because and they continue to stand up because of the foundation they're laid on, right? So it's the discipline, my belief, what I believe in, why I do it. No motivation, just discipline, and not even drive, because I'm not even driven most of the time, man. I just know what I gotta do, and my why is so much bigger and stronger than the motivation that I have day in, day out. The reason why we're held back from doing what we want to do is because of what people think about what we do. Hey, you want to grow your YouTube channel, you want to grow your Instagram, we'll want you to document the journey. Okay, so I'm here at Sprouts, but before I go in there, I want to talk about something that I see way too many times happen. It's happening more often than I'd like to see it. And for example, not too long ago, I saw one of my friends on our Facebook account posted something about her debit card information was stolen, and somebody went shopping. They did their nails. They bought cat food. Look, there's one way to you can't avoid people stealing your credit card information or debit card information. However, what you can avoid is losing money from your bank account immediately, right? So there's a big problem, and I think I've talked about this in previous vlogs, right? So there's a big difference from using a credit card and using a debit card. Number one, using your debit card immediately withdraws your money from your bank account, whether that was you or whether it was a fraudulent account or a fraudulent activity. Give you an example, like if you go to Sprouts and I use my debit card, well, guess what? If I spent $100 at Sprouts, they'll withdraw $100, okay? With my credit card, if I spent $100 at Sprouts, well, guess what? They'll take that out as well. However, at the end of the month, I'm going to be billed for that. So regardless, right, you're responsible for whatever you spend. Let me give you the advantage of using a credit card. Using a credit card, you don't have to pay that back until the end of the month or whenever that billing cycle is done. But let's just say your account, or let's just say the information to your a card was compromised. If your debit card was compromised, you'd be out of $100 immediately. $100 that you didn't use, $100 that was fraudulently used immediately. You'd be out of that money immediately. You'd realize your account has been compromised. You then have to call the bank, let them know, hey, my debit card has been compromised. You don't have a debit card, and you're probably out of money, right? You're out of $100 at least. And so you can't do anything about that. The bank's gonna open up an investigation. That'll take anywhere from 7 to 15 days. In most cases, I believe that you're not gonna have the money until 7 to 15 days. I don't know when I've not experienced that lately, but the last time I experienced that, it took the bank about 7 days to give me my money back. With a credit card, okay, that money is reimbursed immediately. Now, depending upon what the investigation comes back with, okay, either you're responsible or not. If it's a fraudulent activity, then obviously you're not going to be responsible for it. Credit cards depend. My credit cards, there's insurance on that. Okay, so there's they insure what I spend. Let's just say that I didn't make that purchase. They'll give me my money back, and more importantly, like, I'm not out of $100. Okay, so to summarize, you don't want to use your debit card because you don't want anybody to have access to your bank account, number one. Number two, it's tied directly to your bank account. Your credit card, I honestly think it's a better option because it's a line of credit where, number two, your purchases are secured. Number three, you earn points. Now remember, you are only paying fees or interest on the balance that you carry. Now look, before you guys even go there, nobody is saying charge up your credit cards. I'm not saying it. I'm simply saying use your credit card to make your purchases because it's not tied to your money. It's not tied to your hard-earned money. In the event that you notice that there was a fraudulent activity, you're not out of that $100 or $200, whatever that fraudulent activity was. Use a credit card.